Friday night with Clint. I reckon 10 years ago, Friday night with Clint was very different to Friday night today.
How did you know?
Probably was for all of us, to be fair.
10 years ago, I would have had no children, probably one on the way, but I would have had no children. So, I probably would have been free to make my own decisions rather than when you've got children, they all revolve around your children, which is great. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, I've just been making pizzas, frantically getting them finished and cooked in time for this. Had some dough issues, but that happens. That does happen.
So you're doing the pizzas. I was doing carbonara. So we were both frantically cooking with the children before we came to jump on here. But that's what it's all about, right?
Yep. Friday night 10 years ago for me, the classic Friday night was meet the missus at the local curry place around sort of 6:30, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 pints, nice bit of curry, and then she'd drive home. And that was pretty much a Friday night. That was like clockwork. We did that nearly every week.
Listen, I thought you were about to say to me, you have a curry and then you'd go out for a few drinks. And I'd be like, no, please don't say you do it that way around.
No. Curry on a Friday, then it would be, maybe a movie or something like that. But it's not about curry. It's not about me. We've got Georgina checking in saying hello. So if you're joining us and you can hear us, drop us a like, drop us a comment. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. And tonight we are even on X. We are it's Twitter, really. Let's be honest. But, the symbol says X. Do you still call it Twitter, or are you up to speed with X now?
I still call it Twitter, and because I don't arrange stuff properly on my phone, I use the search bar. And I searched Twitter the other day, but you can't even search for Twitter on your phone anymore. It's got to be X. So I've got to get in the X mindset. Yeah.
Do you send an X or do you send a tweet? I don't know if that's the language. I guess you send an X.
If you send an X, that's surely sending someone a kiss.
Yeah. Well. How many kisses have you had this week with the launch of your new business? It must have been social media kisses.
Yeah, listen, it's been incredible. Because I kept it under wraps I suppose for two reasons. One, when you're sort of moving over to a new company, you kind of keep it under wraps for a while and you then transition over. But also I did want it to be a surprise and we'll probably get onto it, but because we're so different, because it's such a different strategy and vibe, I just wanted to explode onto the scene. And that's exactly what I did on all my social media channels. And the reaction was cool, was good, positive. In fact, I have had one person who is an ex-client of mine who said, if you sell my house again, I'd expect a jacket. And so I've agreed just for the one time, if I sell her house, I will put a jacket on for her for the sake of getting the house on the market. And then the viewings will be done with my brand new pink hoodie.
Well, some of the guys do rock the jacket, but they maybe have a T-shirt underneath or a shirt. Definitely not a tie. No ties at this party. We are 2024, moved past the ties. But yeah, some people still rock the jacket. Ricky in Stevenage rocks a nice blazer with jeans and some nice white trainers quite often. That's his
Which
vibe.
Is cool, because I just think obviously it's a people business, and if you think about what you'd turn up to the pub to meet your friends or to a football match or whatever you do in your spare time, whatever you turn up in looking okay is how you are relatable to people. So I think gone are the days where you put on this completely different persona when you jump into your suit, and then on the weekends you've got your football top on and beers in your hand. It was almost like estate agents had to be a completely different person at work, and I don't think that's right. I think it's nice now that this is me, this is my vibe, and it carries on through to work, because you're trying to relate to people. You're trying to be friendly.
You're similar to me. I think we're naturally quite like sporty people, like quite into our sport, often down the gym, and therefore kind of in normal just rocking around life or kid drops or whatever it may be, just typically dress relatively smart, but sporty smart. And that's kind of, that's just me. And I feel so much more comfortable in that scenario. You know, the hoodies, obviously, I love the hoodie because it's super comfy. It kind of, it stands out relatively well, should we say, with the pink. And it's just, I feel totally in my own kind of environment when I'm dressed like that. So then if I'm natural, everyone else gets natural, Ian.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, talking about the gym, someone did come over to me in the gym and said, I saw you in Tesco the other day. And I said, oh, okay. And she said, you're wearing this pink hoodie. It's like Avocado property or something, isn't it? And I was like, how cool is that? That kind of, without me going to the gym and like hammering people about I'm an estate agent, she just came over to me and went, I just saw you with this pink hoodie. What's all that about? So it is a statement maker. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people want them. They do want them.
Yes.
Well, the more they see of them. Me and Mike in the early days when it was just the two of us, we thought, oh, we'll wear them for social media, but we never would have worn them on evaluation in the first couple of months. We just didn't think that was the thing. Quickly, people started saying to us, where's your pink hoodie? Why aren't you wearing your pink? They were almost like disappointed we turned up without the pink hoodie.
Yeah. And I think if you look at the way estate agents are evolving now and have evolved over the past few years, is that I think we're turning into marketeers and content creators. And if you think back for the last 10 years, 15 years, maybe even 20 years, when you think about people that are in marketing and who create contents, you think about people who wear hoodies and trainers. That's kind of, and then you save your suits for, I don't know, a lawyer or something. But you always think that these marketeers and these creators, content creators are
just comfy dressed, aren't they?
Yeah. And I think if you can let your marketing do the talking, I don't think if I was selling a house and you stood a smartly dressed chap in front of me or lady in front of me in a nice suit or a nice dress, and then you stood someone else in front of me in a hoodie, or as you said earlier, like a blazer with a t-shirt under, and you said, which one would you pick as an estate agent? I'd say, show me their marketing and then I'll make a decision. Like I'm not really bothered what you look like, as long as you don't look messy and dirty. I don't mind what you look like. What I do mind is how the house looks when you come to selling it. That's the key for me. So don't worry about how you dress, worry about how you come across.
Marketing, just such a powerful thing. You know, we could geek out on that all Friday night, but just a story this morning that I just thought was really cool. I was in the gym, done the school drop off, was in the gym, like to have a sauna on a Friday.
Yes.
So in the sauna, guy sort of goes like this, looks over, he said, you've definitely been infiltrating my phone a lot. I recognize you. And obviously and the funny thing I said to him, are you a homeowner locally with kids? He's like, sort of middle-aged guy. And he was like, yeah, how do you know that? I said, that's who I target. So adverts doing its job. And he was like,
absolutely.
Really cool.
I've had some good feedback. I was actually, I text someone I know. It's like an old client that's turned into a bit of a friend of mine. So I text her and I just said, just so you know, if you want to get hold of me now, this is me. And I sent her the link to on the website where I've got my microsite. And I sent that over because I thought she can have a look at that. She can have a look at the video, and, you know, if she wants to fill out a valuation, she can do. But sent it over to her, and she texted me back and she went, don't worry about that. You're all over my social media. And I thought, yes.
Yeah,
and she's got, funny enough, she's got kids as well. And that's the kind of market that I'm dealing with, because I know how to deal with that market. And it just makes me feel more comfortable when I know what a hassle it is when you've got to get the house ready for viewings, when you've got kids running around and you've got to get them out of the house, got to get them sorted. So I bear that in mind when I'm talking to clients. Or, you know, doing viewings around school times is a big no-no, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for the owner. It doesn't work for the viewers. It doesn't work for anyone. Yeah. So when I thought about my target market and who I wanted to help move, I just thought it's so relatable. I've got an 8 and 10-year-old. I'm right in the thick of it. I'm up to my neck in swimming clubs and chess clubs and gymnastics and school trips and all that. And I thought, I know, I understand. So I can sit there and go, yeah, I get it.
You can relate. It's
Absolutely, yeah.
not the same in all parts of our agency. And we'll talk a little bit about kind of Solihull and the way that you're setting your business up and the type of people that you're looking forward to working with. But we did say it's Friday night, so there are no bounds to the questions that can be asked. But Ben's he's coming softly here. So if you had a whole day where you could do anything you wanted, what would you do?
That's put me on the spot.
Bit of CrossFit.
I would start the day with CrossFit, 100%. I'd like to start every day with CrossFit because afterwards I'll become a happy man. So I'm a much better man for the rest of the day. So yeah, let's start the day with CrossFit. And then I would go on a day out with my family. And I know that sounds a bit cliche. Oh, you go out with your family, but genuinely we have such a laugh. Like, to choose the kind of day, whatever, I don't care. Let's go over to Stratford upon Avon and take a rowboat out and see how far we can row or whatever. So a family day for me. Yeah. And again, if you'd asked me that 10 years ago, you're going to get a completely different answer, mate. But now it would be a family day out. If it was just me, if you asked me as an individual that question, I have just bought tickets for the Premiership rugby final, which I do every year without fail with my best mate from the army. We hook up, even though we left the army 20 odd years ago. We hook up and we spend the day. We spend the whole day. We go down to Twickenham and we have some food and we go and watch the rugby. So yeah, if it was me on my own, rugby all day.
Nice. That links quite well, actually. I mean, I'd love to know a little bit more about Clint before estate agency, before you got into agency. You obviously mentioned the army, but I'm sure there's other things you must have done as well. So let's just talk about before agency. You know, what was Clint like?
Well, I'm South African to start with, born and bred. Grew up there and moved to England when I was 15, nearly 16. Which is a difficult age, even if you're not moving country, even if you're just living normally, it's a difficult age for anyone, teenagers. And it was quite a struggle for me, really, and my sister as well. So my sister upped and left and went traveling because she just kind of went, I don't really know what this country is. I'm off. I'm going to go traveling. And then my first job was selling shoes at a shoe shop in Rugby, which I suppose that was maybe my first wake-up call when I was on my knees tying someone's shoes and thinking, what happened?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. And opposite, there was Woolworths, if anyone's old enough on here to remember Woolworths. And I looked across and they had a poster in the window, no internet back then, or not much of it, had a sticker in the window saying they were paying, I think it was £3.20 an hour instead of the £2.80 an hour I'd be earning at the shoe shop. So I was like, I'm going, man. I'm handing my notice in at this shoe shop and I'm going to Woolworths. Woolworths didn't work either. So I'm very much, I like to get up and go. Like if someone says, let's do something, I'm like, we're either all in or we're not doing it at all.
Yeah.
So I was at Woolworths the one day and I thought, this ain't for me. And I walked out and I jumped on a train to Coventry and signed up for the British Army. It's the best thing I ever did. So I joined the Royal Regiment Fusiliers. There's my cap badge. I know it's a bit bright up there, but these
How
were
old
my
were you
army. Then? I was just turned 17.
17.
Yeah. So joined the British Army. I trained for about 9 months and we joined the infantry. And then we did tours of Kosovo. We did Northern Ireland, and I ended up specialising in Northern Ireland as I was in something called COP, which is a close observations platoon, and that is what civilians would term as sneaky peeky stuff. So we were dressed in civilian clothing, and we used to go and I suppose spy on terrorists. and gather information. It was an intelligence gathering platoon. And so we used to gather intelligence and ship it up to government level and then be told what to do from there. So that was amazing. And when I say amazing, that was some like James Bond stuff. We were walking around with 9mm tucked in our jeans and little earpieces, doing some serious work. So that was great fun, and I have fun memories of that.
I would love to have had some B-roll of that, Clint. That would have been some cool B-roll.
But I felt at that stage, that I had got to the peak of what I wanted my army career to be. The next step would have had to be go back into uniform and to start doing normal soldiering roles, which I was a bit bored of by then. So I thought, I'm only 24 now. I've done 6 years in the British Army. I'm only 23, coming up 24 years old. I've got time now to get out of the army and to start a new career. So automatically, by default, I went, well, it's going to have to be a fitness trainer. So leaving the army, I trained as a fitness instructor. Very, very quickly realized that before the days of social media, a personal trainer did not make a lot of money at all. At all. And the chap I was training at the time, hi, Brendan. The chap I was training at the time was a manager for Connells estate agents. And he said to me, look, why don't you keep the fitness as your fun thing? And why don't you come and be an estate agent? And I said, absolutely not. No way. Why would I ever want to be an estate agent? But luckily, Brendan was and still is a very forward-thinking estate agent, and it sounded more exciting going and selling properties with him. So that was the start of my estate agency career. And a bit of history about me before all that.
It's so funny because me and you spoke about this before, but the synergy there. I got into fitness instructing when I was 19, when I was 18, then realised the same, no money in it. I was training the HR person for the company I ended up spending 16 years at on her lunch break. She said, oh, you can chat. Why don't you come and do this?
Yeah, so that was amazing for you can chat.
Yeah. And that's how that started. Right, Clint, we've got some random questions, so get yourself ready. Neil's saying, first of all, looking forward to seeing Avo sold boards all over Solihull, which we're all looking forward to.
It's going to be amazing. They're all red and blue. There's 2 blue estate agents and 1 red estate agent. So all you see is reds and blues. So pink is about to pop up everywhere.
Pop. Yeah, like that. So Ben wants to know, what songs from your childhood do you listen to when no one else is around?
What songs from my childhood? I like what songs from my childhood?
Is there like army songs in there?
No, I tell you what, I listen to a lot of, and I still do now. It's Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
But it's only because my dad is a massive, massive Jimi Hendrix fan. And he used to play it in his car really loud and sing. And I used to cringe a bit, but I remember listening to a lot of Jimi Hendrix and a bit of Led Zeppelin as well. And so Purple Haze is the one that comes to mind, which is probably one of his biggest songs. And then I had it on in my car the other day, and the kids were in the car, and I started singing along to it. And I just thought, I'm turning into my dad. It's not a bad thing, but I looked years ago, I was like, Dad, you're so embarrassing. And now there's me busting out some Jimi Hendrix. So I would say Jimi Hendrix, yeah, which isn't that bad. It's not embarrassing, is it?
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Sanjay wants to know, what would you do if you won £1 million?
If $1 million,
not sensible either. It's got to be the fun version.
Yeah, but and you know what? I would have no problem at all going and blowing £1 million on a bit of a world tour. So a bit of a cruise, a bit of a Disneyland in Orlando, a bit of Bali, a bit of Australia, just a family world tour. And I would just live it up. I mean, you could spend doing a world tour with your family on cruises and stuff. You could probably very quickly spend £500,000. But £1 million
Do it right,
doesn't go
yeah.
very far nowadays, does it? Do you
No.
remember when you used to go, oh, if I had £1 million, I'd retire and that would be me done for life.
Yeah.
Now it's like you'd have to make some serious investments if you wanted £1 million to last you.
Mhm.
So
No,
I'd
totally
just
agree.
blow it because it's not going to make a huge difference. So
Well,
I'd blow it on some memories.
if you blow half, then you've
Yeah.
then you're in a good place for the other half.
I could blow
Sanjay,
half. I could blow half, but looking at what's come on the market today in Solihull, we've got a 4-bedroom semi that's coming for 725,000. So yeah, I'd be struggling even to buy a semi with my £500,000 that was left over.
it's crazy. Market's crazy.
I know.
Neil's saying, "What's your favourite drink?"
Ah, yes, Neil. Favorite drink has got to be right now. It's got to be the Jesus, I've lost the name of it. This stuff.
Oh, the Space Goods.
Space Goods.
Yeah.
Well, Space Goods is well, supplements really, but Space Goods it's like a chocolate drink, but it's got all your mushrooms in it. So that's my favorite drink at the moment. Space Goods, the
I've
absolute
got the
bomb.
vanilla and cinnamon flavour, the new flavour.
Not tried it.
No,
No,
don't get it. No, stick with the chocolate orange for me.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't go for it. Oh, Sanjay, come on now. Sanjay said, if you could ask Ian anything right now, what would it be?
Is he trying to push me to ask you something here? What would it?
I think so. I think he's
seriously?
on the edge, Sanjay. It's Friday night, and I know he's done. I know he did dry Jan, so he's probably enjoying himself right now.
If I could ask you anything, oh, I don't know. That's put me right in the spot.
Come back to that one.
What's your favorite drink?
Well, I stopped drinking like pretty much 14 months ago, really. So Neil's getting at alcohol drinks. I don't really have an alcohol drink, and much like you on the supplements, I'm enjoying the Space Goods. But Dimitri, that I worked with from a nutrition coaching, he recommended Wade protein shake, and they do a vanilla cream. It's lactose intolerant. There's no bubbles in it, and it is the best tasting drink, let alone protein shake.
I need that because I get a bit bloated on my protein, but we'll have to have a conversation.
It's like Whey with an apostrophe D is the company, and it's particularly for like non-bloat, and it just tastes amazing. So,
but if I'm coming back to Neil, I would say the same. I stopped properly drinking about 9 months ago, which is my CrossFit kind of got me to stop drinking, and then I realized how many benefits there were to stopping drinking. But I'm not one of those never ever drink, so I will have a glass of wine, and it would be a nice Malbec, sort of a 10-11 pound bottle of Malbec. There you go, Neil.
Nice, very nice. I know Neil tries everything, so he'll join you one day on that. Kyle is saying, "Hi Clint, what would be your dream home to sell?"
Dream home to sell. I would love to sell a Selling Sunset style property. So I'd love to nip over to Los Angeles and do one of those big deals. I'm talking like, the ones that come on for like $60 million. And I love it when you see $60 million and then you see agent's commission, $687,000. You think, for the one sale? Yeah. And quite often they split that. It's like, oh man, I'm going to have to take about $400,000 on this one instead of $800,000. So I would, and the ones that overlook sort of Hollywood, ones with the big pools, and I'd sell one of those.
Yeah, those ones on
100 million.
The ones up the hill that overlook, like you say, LA or whatever it may be, with the pool that looks out, the infinity pool, unbelievable. We'll definitely do an Avocado Christmas party there one day. I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Neil's confirmed that because we said a protein shake and a mushroom drink, he needs new friends. Sorry, Neil, to disappoint. And Georgina wants to know, what's the strangest thing you've encountered on a viewing? Keep it clean, of course.
I'll tell her the other version offline because there's not a clean one. But I had a strange encounter, and it was with a lady that she was a what do you call it when people can speak to like ghosts and stuff?
Oh, yeah, they can. Oh, what is it called? Anyone watching live, what's it called when you can speak to the other side? When you can
Seance
speak,
or something like that, isn't it? Whatever it is. She just walked up. It was an open house, and she walked up. I think there were a couple of people in the house, and she walked up and she looked at me and she went, "Oh no!" And she went to walk back to the little gate at the front. And I said, "Are you all right?" And she said, "I'm not going to be viewing this house. My husband coming in view, but I'm not going to view it." A medium. There you go. Thank you, Georgina. Yeah.
Mhm.
She said, "I'm not going to be viewing this." And I said, "Why?" She said, "You'll find out. Go back in and you'll find out." And I went, "Yeah, and that's it." She got in the car. She waited in the car. Her husband came and viewed it. And I said to her husband, I said, "You're probably not going to buy this one, right?" And he went, "Oh, no way. No. She has seen something in there that she doesn't like. And if she's seen something, there is something in there." I was like,
Whoa.
"Oh my word." So
Wow.
that was odd.
Yeah. How'd you dress up that video? I don't know.
I know.
We work it out. I don't
Yeah.
think I missed any. Oh, Neil actually did said, what are you most looking forward to about joining the Avocado squad? How's it been? And what are you looking forward to next?
Well, it's I'll just touch on how I got here because it's kind of joins into the question. I worked with you guys about a year ago. Well, I still do, but about a year ago. I'm for anyone that doesn't know out there, I'm also a digital expert. So I help people with marketing on Google Ads. So I was doing that, and obviously know you guys from various networks, etc. And then I came down to help a few of your partners do their Google Ads. And I've just genuinely, and I know like people are probably going to watch this and go, "Well, he's got to say that because he's working with them now." But I've genuinely never, ever come across an agent that's just, I was just fascinated straight away. I was almost to the point of being obsessed. I was like, "Wow, this is cool." And I thought it can't be that cool. So off I went home. I thought that maybe everyone was pretty chilled when I got there because they're all just really nice people. They would just come in their hoodies. The stuff they were talking about was amazing. And they were all just like, I wouldn't have known I was in a room full of estate agents. So I was driving home thinking, that was pretty cool. What a cool company that is. And I got home and I thought, let me just have a quick look. And I started looking at socials. And of course, I looked at one person's social, got onto the next, got onto the next, got onto the next. And they were all just like popping out at me. And I'm telling you now, from a year ago when I met you guys, I've not stopped thinking about Avocado. And I don't know if that's a combination between what I saw when I came down there and the feeling that I got with you guys and the just seeing you everywhere, omnipresence, as Neil and Sanjay and the guys call it. I just kept seeing you guys everywhere, but it wasn't just that I saw you. It was that these videos, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And something else came up. That's cool. Something else came up. That's really cool. And I just eventually I buckled and I went, "I'm going to have to join." And I think, and I was thinking about this the other day, I'm pretty certain that this is the first time it's happened with a company that I've then joined. Of course, it happens to me with stuff like Apple. When people go, "Why do you buy an Apple phone?" You go, "I just do." And that's probably all the marketing in the background that's got you to the stage of, "I'm just going to buy that thing," or "I'm just going to," And I just feel that I got to that stage with you guys where I was thinking, if I'm going to, because I was very focused on my digital business, and I thought if I'm going to come back into some serious estate agency, like I've got to speak to you. And you guys were predominantly south, and since then there's me, there's the boys up in Telford, and I think that it won't be long before we're taking over the Midlands. I can't see any other brand like us around here. So it's exciting.
It's really exciting, and
Yeah,
it's great to have you on board. What I love about Avocado, especially in the last 6 or 9 months, the people and the quality that we're attracting is just improving the network, the brokerage. It's just everything within the skill set with the group, because we're so open and keen to share with each other. It means that if someone's really good at something, then everyone becomes a little bit better at it. And then if someone comes in and helps that, everyone just improves. Every time we meet, every time we talk, it's a real powerful thing that you just see the shift in evolution. It's really cool.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that's kind of really like impressed me and just amazed me really is that some estate agents are known just for a load of talk and then kind of just fizzles out. And you go to a meeting and everyone's got some good ideas and then it fizzles out again. And everyone's got good ideas and it fizzles out. Like every single thing I've learned and spoken about at Avocado, we've done. But the most impressive part of it was the launch sequence. When I was like, yeah, I'm coming on board, I was thinking, right, I've got to get this ready, get that ready. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And you were like, right, we've got to launch. Like we've got a specific blueprint to launch. And I thought, well, what does that look like? And I looked at the blueprint and it's incredible. You look at it and you go, right, I'm going to get this nailed. And that's what impressed me is that everyone seems to have a plan. They stick to the plan and they just execute. It's like when they're producing content or when they're putting a house on the market, everyone has a plan and carries that plan out. That's impressive in an industry that's sometimes questionable. It's impressive that you've got a group of people that can just plan something and execute it. Really good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going a bit heavy for a Friday night, and I
love it though. Absolutely love it. Yeah. You know, we've got all sorts of questions coming in here, but there's some random stuff. I mean, we got Sanjay wants to know what your spirit animal is. I don't even know.
Armadillo, I think.
A what?
An armadillo.
I thought you said a pillow for a minute then. An armadillo.
Armadillo. And I think that would be the species that would maybe be rudest as well. Not armadillo, don't you? The hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
Like an avocado.
Well linked in there.
I think it's just something that sat with me from when you were in the army, when you were doing your surveillance stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess you were profiling people and basically putting people into an audience in a sort of funny way. And it's funny that now with your Google marketing that you're digitally doing that, whereas before you were kind of physically doing that. And it's obviously something you've got a passion for, right?
Yeah. It's do you know what it is? It's data. I know that sounds boring as hell, but it's data. Like they'd sit us down in a briefing and say, this is who you're looking for, or this is the group of people that you're looking for. We need to know. So we used to do surveillance on houses or buildings or people or whatever. But the whole objective of that was to find out what time they switch their lights off at night, what time what car leaves at that time. We had to gather all this data so that we could then have a plan to then go and execute the plan. And it's that kind of thing has stuck with me. Like, find out all the facts first, do a bit of data gathering, come up with a plan, and then execute that plan. Like, don't just sit on it. Get going, get it executed. You've got the information you need, and go for it. And part of that is making sure that you're targeting the right people. Imagine targeting the wrong people in a position like that. It would all go wrong. So targeting the right people in a strange way, ties into what we do now, but digitally. Luckily, I can do it from behind a computer screen now, and not with a rifle in my hand.
Without a gun and an earpiece, absolutely.
I
mean, what it means for, as we wrap up, what it means for the people and your future clients and the people that you're working with now and in the near future is you're going to get that attention to detail from you. You'll get the right data. There won't be opinion-led thoughts around it that maybe a classic estate agent chitter chat. This is the data. This is the plan. This is how I intend on executing it. And this is how it will help you get to your next goal, your next dream home, whatever it may be. And that's what I'm excited to see, from your business up in the Midlands. And those pink boards are going to look really cool up there. And I think it's exciting to see what happens over this year, in Solihull and the surrounding villages as well. And I just think it's going to be something that'll be really cool with the kids are going to enjoy it. They're going to, changing their first sold slip for you is going to be a cool moment. So all of these little things, they're just going to be wicked to see.
Yeah. So my daughter's birthday's in 4 weeks' time, and she collects palm pals. They're called. They're little fluffy. You can get like a hedgehog and a dog, and you can collect the whole lot. She's just asked, without me saying anything, she's just asked for the avocado one. So I'm having some kind of influence over my family. So hopefully that influence will spread wider in the Solihull area.
There's a lot of avocado randomness in my house, let me tell you. So it's cool to hear, but that's what it's all about. It is all about, this is a family thing. You know, your partner is important in this journey as anyone. Your kids, you know, who you're doing it for, on your down the lens or on your promotional video that you launched. You said, you know, it's about making the kids proud, you know, building a bit of a legacy, making the kids proud, and that's absolutely what it's all about. So
I think that's that for me, that you know, your almost strapline of building a business your family can be proud of. When I saw that before I joined, I was like, yeah, if you can take an industry where there's questions over reputation or practices, and you can actually build a business that your own family are proud of, and they can walk around going, my dad's an estate agent for Avocado, that would be awesome. That really would be changing an industry. So that's mega cool for me as well.
That's the goal. So we've got, thank you to Rob. He said hi, Mr. Brady.
Hi, Rob.
Checking in. Thank you for Neil. He did say, how many fish do you think are actually called Bob? But, you know, all of them, 3. We got Sanjay. Thank you, Sanjay. Zoe was confirming medium. Georgina said hello as well. Jamie checked in and said hi. Kyle was there. We had Ben popping in too. And we had Matt and Sanjay on their account as well. So, yeah, thanks to everyone that commented. And cool. Rob's just come in with one last question. I can see that at the local swim club in the he's expecting you in the avocado shorts.
Yes, or a Speedo. Could I rock a Speedo?
I'm sure you can.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can. CrossFit, you know, I'm sure you can. But that is not what this live call is about. But thanks to everyone that joined. Good luck with your business. It's been a great launch to watch, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be live again very soon. But yeah, thanks for Rob says no to the Speedo.
Okay, that's that.
I think we'll call that the end of the show. So have a good weekend, everyone. And yeah, thanks for joining me.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
See ya.